Hispanic Gateway. I'm Asia, and we're going to talk about New Earth. New Earth and what that means to ourselves. Well, at least you're going to hear me, and then hopefully you decide for yourself, because we're going to break down the words, new and earth, okay? So we can see how it's being used and decide for ourselves if that is true. We can come to conclusions. So, new is taking one thing from one state of being to another. That's the spiritual aspect of it. Like, you can go buy something new, but you don't even realize that you're going into a whole new state of being by just having that new. And then when we think about earth, and not only is it the earth plane, what we're living on, but earth has many different meanings. It's going from a different state of being to another, just like raising, but we're just going from the old to the new. You see the duality in that, to a new earth. Now, people think that, I don't know if people think that, the earth is just gonna magically appear some type of way. I don't know. It would be, depending on where you are mentally, your location, and spiritually. But earth has many different meanings, and this is how we can come to understand it for ourselves, because not only does it have its physical natures, which we use earth in many different forms and fashions, but it also has its spiritual nature, which deals with practicality and logic, and also intellect and analyzing, in a new way of doing those things as well, that builds the atmosphere for the change to happen through time, cycles, transition. Transition is key. There's nothing just dings. I wish I could ding, but I can't. So life happens through transition, time, cycle, periods, seasons. So we are definitely in a different time. If we can all come to that conclusion, we can look into our own spirits, and or whatever you want to call yourself, look into our own selves and see what our lives and how much they have changed and become anew in some form or fashion through a transition of time. Time seems to be different. I can speak for myself. I can sense the difference in how I'm receiving time, because time is subjective to you. If you want to believe that, you can, because it is. And it's not, and it is, but it just depends on where you at in your spiritual mental location for you to be able to perceive that. But there's many different time cycles, like everything. The planets have their own time cycles. You can go off of those. If you want to go off of those cycles, you have your own internal cycles. So what's a minute to somebody is an hour to somebody else. And that's just a reality, implying that there are many realities, especially because we are individuals having a collective experience on the earth plane, especially in this time cycle where we are raising collective consciousness. Is part of the times. And it only will you notice that reality is if you're able to sense it and perceive it. If you're not conscious of it, you're going to get swept up in it. Bojo. in some form or fashion. This is the evolution of mankind is building blocks. This whole universe is building blocks, right? The Trinity comes in many forms and fashion. It's a building block. So there's many different forms of building, and we just want to make sure that if we are building to create this new earth and new time cycle, that we are building in the right way. Ew. Not charging. And that is especially through the mental plane, through knowledge, because that's been hidden by the veil, especially knowledge itself. We keep giving our power to things outside of us. And been bamboozled. I know. I was there.